Hey YouTube, welcome to another Gregory Alan Isakov guitar tutorial. Today we want to take a look at Time Will Tell, and we'll be covering the studio version as well as the acoustic version. And they only differ referring to the strumming pattern and the intro. The chord progression and structure is exactly the same. And I'm really going to have a difficult time explaining this because the song is really irregular, so many chord changes. I couldn't really make up a pattern on how the chords change. So I'm going to have a hard time explaining this, but we'll see how this works out. So first of all, the chords that we need. Capo on 5th fret, all chord shapes related to capo. And we need a C over G, which is a C chord with a G in the bass. We need our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, pinky 3rd fret of the A string, our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, open G string, 1st fret with our index finger on the B string and open E string. We need an A minor 7, which is this chord shape, but without our ring finger and our pinky. Okay, so muted low E string. We lay our thumb across the E string so it doesn't ring, doesn't make a sound. Open A string, 2nd fret, D string, open G string, 1st fret on the B string and open E string. Next chord that we need is a G add 11. And a G add 11 is our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, middle finger 2nd fret on the A string, open D and G string, 1st fret with our index finger on the B string and open E string. We also need an F major 7. I usually play it with my thumb pressing down on the 1st fret of the E string, so we have that F note there. Then ring finger 3rd fret on the A string, pinky 3rd fret on the D string, middle finger 2nd fret on the G string and index finger 1st fret on the B string, open E string. And we also need a regular A minor later on for the bridge. So that's like the A minor 7, but with our ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. So we have muted low E string, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0. And we also need an E minor, which is open low E string, 2nd fret on the A and D string, and then open G, B and E string. Next, let's take a look at the strumming patterns for this song. So for the original studio version, we're going to do an alternating bass. Sounds like this. What I'm doing there is I just pick the A string with my thumb on the C and then do down, up, down, up. And then I switch with my thumb to the E string and then do down, up again. So we've got this. This strumming pattern is used for the whole song, although we don't always do that alternating thumb. We usually just do it when we play the strumming pattern several times on one chord. As we do, for example, on our C over G in the intro, where we just keep doing this. Okay, for 4 times until we move into the verse. And the strumming pattern for the acoustic version is really similar. Instead of just doing the pick on the bass string, we just do a regular strum. So we've got down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay? So that is actually the only regular thing about this song, the strumming pattern, which stays the same throughout almost the whole song, except for the intro of the acoustic version. And that is why I'm going to refer to the strumming pattern in the chord progression. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you for how many beats of a bar, how many measures you're going to play a chord and on which beat you're changing the chord, but I'm just going to tell you how many times you apply a strumming pattern for each chord, because it's way easier with this regular strumming pattern. Okay, so let's take a look at the intro. So as I said, the intro for the studio version is just 4 bars of C over G with an alternating bass. For the acoustic version it's a bit different. I'm going to play it to you first. I'm doing there is I start on the C over G, but with my middle finger lift up. So we have an open D string, and then we do a hammer on the first down strum, then do up down up, another irregularity in the strumming pattern, and then do the same thing on the F major 7, so hammer on the middle finger on our open G string, and then do down up down up. But on the second down, instead of strumming it very lightly and softly with the skin of our thumb, he uses the nail of his index finger to emphasize that strum. Okay, so we've got this. Okay, so we play C over G to F major 7 for 3 times, and then on the 4th time we just do a hammer on our C over G and stay on that C over G for a full bar. And this whole thing we do twice for the intro, okay? So it sounds like this. And this acoustic intro, so the and so on, is always used in between the different sections. So in between verse and interlude, in between interlude and second verse, in between bridge and all of the different parts. It's always like the transition part of this song. So if you see the C over G and F major 7 standing behind a line in the following video, you know that this is always the transition part, okay? And then we move into the verse, and for demonstration and explanation purposes I'm just going to use the acoustic version strumming pattern, so down, down, up, down, up, okay? And as I already said, the chord changes are really irregular, and there are so many chord changes that I'm not going to explain each of them. I'm just going to play it to you and put the amount of times I apply the strumming pattern to the chord in brackets behind the chord, okay? So let's take a look at the verse. It sounds like this. So this is the structure of the verse. Really complicated, I know. And you can also fill in some variations for this part if you want. So for example, if you use your C over G or your F major 7, you can also add in those hammer-ons. So for example like this. Okay. And you can also add in those accentuated strums on the second down strum of each strumming pattern. So it sounds like this. Okay, so just suggestions to spicing that up a little bit. Okay, after that we move into an interlude, which is played with banjo and guitar, and for that part we play into our second verse, and the second verse is just exactly the same chord progression as the first verse. And then we move into the bridge, and the bridge starts off with A minor, and the bridge is pretty regular, we have to say, so we apply the strumming pattern on twice on each chord. So we start off on A minor, E minor, F major 7, C over G, G add 11, A minor, E minor, F major 7 for 4 bars, and then we go back to this time will tell part, and that is A minor 1 bar, G add 11 1 bar, F major 7 1 bar, and then which is just our transition part that we use for almost every transition between the parts. We then move into the section where they are whistling, and that is after that we move directly into the outro, which is Time Will Tell, and that is the same as the Time Will Tell parts throughout the whole video, throughout the whole song before. So and that is the end of the song. So for the end of the song we just apply the strumming pattern to the A minor, and for the G add 11, and then we just strum our F major 7 once and our C over G once, and then the song is already over. Okay, so I would suggest we try to put this all together in a playthrough at the end of this video. I hope that even though the structure of this song and the chord progressions are really complicated, you can still follow this tutorial. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to check out more guitar tutorials, take a look at my channel, and hopefully see you there again. So have fun playing along to this song, and see you next time. Goodbye.